So you want to write a screenplay. It is so very, very easy to get caught up in these theories.
What is 3-act structure?
This is Sid Field's paradigm.
The way I look at an act is essentially defined by strategies.
Let's explain how I look at 6 acts.
The story circle breaks down into 8 points that Dan Harmon says are the essential elements of story.
What I think it does is it confuses. What you want to do is start writing. So what I propose is the utmost simplification of story structure. What I would like to call a progressive series. A series of progressively larger buts. So, you have a protagonist in a place where they want something. They have their goal, going towards their goal, either getting it or not getting it, and then ending. That's a story. That is your story. That is every single story that has ever been written.
If no one else will defend the world from Ares, then I must.
Bad Deadpool.
Me and you are headed to fix this butterface.
The author presents a very simple substitution code in the preface.
Finish this. Can you do that?
Yes, Monica. I love you, Mommy. I hope you never die.
So, my series of progressively larger buts. They have a goal that can be broken down into smaller goals. These are the stepping stones of the story. For example, in the Imitation game, Alan Turing wants to create the machine that he will call Christopher.
And equipment that I need to build the machine.
So he has these stepping stones. First, he must be on the team to break Enigma. Now, in each of these stepping stones, he gets a success, but it must also come with a loss, and these must be of equal magnitude.
What are you doing here?
Oh, the lady told me to wait.
In my office. She told you to help yourself to tea while you were here?
No, she didn't.
She obviously didn't tell you what a joke was then either, I gather.
Was she supposed to?
Who are you?
Alan Turing.
This is a very small success and a very small loss, because this is the smallest but.
The Americans, the Russians, the French, the Germans, everyone thinks Enigma is unbreakable.
Good. Let me try, and we'll know for sure, won't we?
He gets on the team to break Enigma, but...
Are we to work together, then? I prefer to have my own office.
You're a team, and you will work as one.
I don't have time to explain myself as I go along, and I'm afraid these men would only slow me down.
He must now work with other people, and he doesn't like doing that. His next step is that he wants independence.
Who is your commanding officer?
Winston Churchill, number 10 Downing Street, London, SW1.
And we give this to him. He gets the success.
Alan, you can't just fire Keith and Charles.
Well, he just said I could.
No, I did no such thing. But Churchill did.
But now his entire team do not like him.
Well, this is inhuman. Even for you.
And we go through the screenplay, and we go through the narrative structure, creating these bigger and bigger buts. So you give them bigger and bigger successes and bigger losses. The only part of this structure that changes is in the climax, where you have the biggest success. Now, this will depend on whether you want a tragic ending or a non-tragic ending. Now, in every single case of these buts, it is coming after the success. You succeed, but you lose something. You succeed, but you lose something. You succeed, but you lose something. Now, in the climax, what you want to do, if you want a classical ending, if you want the protagonist to end on a positive note, what you must do is put the loss before the success. If you put the loss before the success, then your protagonist will have changed enough to warrant the success and the positive ending. And in my favourite tragedy of them all. We get the loss after the success. Nina doesn't change. She goes for the success. She dances the black swan. Then she loses it all. She loses everything. She loses her life. The biggest price to pay, because she had the biggest success and now must suffer the biggest loss, death. Just before we finish, I'd like to talk to you a little bit about a project that I'm working on. It's called How to Cope with Serial Killing. It's a thriller about a woman whose coping mechanism is to see herself as a villain in order to cope with very traumatic events. For example, her mother being murdered in front of her. She takes responsibility. She thinks that it was her in control all along. She is the serial killer who murdered her mother, but this is not the case. So through this short film, we explore the psyche of this serial killer. Now what I need is funds to create this project. What I would like to do is to pay my actors. I would like to create some stunning visuals of the gore, of the thrill, of the murders, and of the mentality of the main character. I'm crowdfunding in order to get the funds to make the film, and I've put the link down below and it will be on the screen now. crowdfunder.co.uk/howtocope. We've already raised £1,300 and I am so excited to be able to create this project, to be able to share what it feels like to feel like you're the villain.